Hi. Um, yes, today is a little special. I'm not on an island and I'm filming myself mostly only. I am at home in my studio where I shoot other videos on my other YouTube channels, the one not related to Japan. The links are in the comment in the description if you care about them. Yes, so today it's kind of a debriefing about the Setouchi Triennale 2022. We just ended a week ago. I meant to write it, and you may have noticed if you're a reader of my blog, it hasn't been very active lately. One reason is I really have no time or energy to write much these days. It's been a very tiring year, very tiring 3 years. I guess it's taking its toll now. I rarely have much time to write so much. All right. So how do we do this debrief? I'm not very used to do like a very long monologue in front of a camera like this. Yes, let's start by saying that the Triennale was a little special this year for for one big reason. The pandemic has had a big effect on it. Much fewer people than usual, which is probably not a bad thing. It got really too crazy and too crowded in 2019 if you were there. You know what I mean. But also, yeah, the fewer artworks. There was new artworks, there were some, but maybe not as many as usual. The selection process was a little different, I guess. And yeah, I need to say that a lot of the new art was not overwhelming. But I mean, artists too maybe didn't have enough time, energy, inspiration. I don't know. Anyways, in the spring was. I didn't really go to many places in the spring. I really was not very motivated, really. I didn't really know what to expect. There weren't many new art in the spring. Most of the new art started in the summer or in the fall because of the pandemic once again. Yeah, the spring was okay. I went to Naoshima. That was nice. I like that. I usually avoid Naoshima during the Triennale. It's just too crowded. It wasn't this year, so I really like going to Naoshima. Yeah, let's check here real quick. That's my passport. Usually I need more than two passports for one Triennale. This time I didn't. I still had two, but the other one I've barely touched. I wasted money. So I don't know if you can see here. Yeah, this is Naoshima. I went to quite a few places on Naoshima this year. It was nice to go and see Naoshima the way it was designed. It was not designed for mass tourism. It really was designed for a few people visiting mostly empty museums. That was, I think, Fukutake's idea. And yeah, it was good to actually go to mostly empty museums. I didn't go to all of them, but I went to a few. Not a lot of new art on Naoshima. There is rarely new art on Naoshima. There was some, especially the Valley Gallery from Tadao Ando, which is a new building. I saw it just before the Triennale, actually. And Hiroshi Samboichi has a new building in Miyanoura, but it's going to be apartments or hotels, so you won't be able to visit it in the future. And that was mostly it, I think. Oh, the Sugimoto Gallery was now open to everybody. It used to be open only to hotel guests. So Naoshima was fun, yeah. Not exciting, but nice. It was really nice to go to Naoshima and to not have crowds everywhere and waiting lines everywhere and etc. It was relaxing, yeah. Having a relaxing day on Naoshima used to be a rare thing, and it became a nice thing again. I don't know what the future is holding about that. Next, Teshima. I didn't go to Teshima. This is surprising even for myself. I love Teshima. It's one of my favorite islands, probably. But truth is that it is quite expensive to spend a day there from Takamatsu. And yeah, I was also on a budget this year. Money is the yen is very weak, as you know, and we all have to suffer from inflation. And my kids are getting older. I need to save money for their college soon. I'm starting to save money for their college. That will happen sooner than I think. So no Teshima this year. There was only 2 new artworks. That's the main reason why I didn't go. Should have gone once again to enjoy Teshima without crowds again. I remember 10 years ago when I used to go to Teshima, some days I really was the only foreigner on the island, and there was very few even Japanese tourists. These days were gone in 2019, and I really should have gone to Teshima during the past 3 years. I didn't go, I really regret now. Oh well, maybe this winter. Next we have Megijima. I went to Megijima twice, so once in the spring, once last weekend. I'm not a big fan of Megijima. Megijima is really not a pleasant island. I don't know, not a great atmosphere there. They don't really like strangers and visitors. They like to take their money. That's the only island when you feel like they just care about your money and not about you, which is unfortunate. The art on Megijima some was okay, some was no comment. I saw most of it. I just didn't go see the one in the caves and the one on the hill. It's not new and it was far away. I really like the small mini shopping mall there is on Megijima. I will show it to you on my blog and on some videos later. That's the only place actually which is more enjoyable when crowded. I went on a Tuesday, I was the only one and it was a little dead. On weekends it's actually more lively. You even have some of the artists running workshops this year every weekend. That was great. I wish more artists could do that. Some live very, very far and can't. Megijima was alright, not great, not... Ogijima, as you know, Ogijima is my favorite island. I went many times, like 10 times, I don't know, probably, which is less than usual. Usually I would go 20 times in a year. Yeah, Ogijima was fun. Not a lot of new arts. Not a lot of new art anywhere. Some very fun art, some wonderful art. I went to all 3 seasons, and in the summer I had the privilege and the chance to assist Oscar Oiwa into making his new artwork in the Ogijima Pavilion, which is a permanent building. So I'm very honored and touched I've been able to do that. Like some part of the art Setouchi is now was made with my hand. I just colored something that Oscar drew, but still it is something. I don't know if you're going to be able to visit the Ogijima Pavilion in the future, because it is going to become a mini hotel. It's a one-room hotel, basically. It will be, where you can sleep there. So if you sleep there, know that Oscar drew the thing, of course. He's the artist. I colored some of it. Yes, the other new art on Ogi was temporary, I think, number 105. That's the name of the art, and the teachers. Likuji Makabe has a new art, the one who's painting the walls, on Ogijima. He had a new art, and he ran a few workshops also where you could help with this art. So a lot of plaques, plastic rectangles, were painted by people like you and me, and including me. I painted one, my son too, so that's fun. Also, that's another addition to the art that I could be a part of. And yes, and Team Ogi ran a few workshops. I love Team Ogi's workshops because they're always very fun, very cute. Team Ogi is really part of the island. I mean, one member of Team Ogi lives full-time on the island. Oshima-san, the leader of Team Ogi, lives part-time on the island. So they're really part of the name of the group is Ogi. Okay, the kanji is different. It's kind of a pun, but still. So yeah, I did a few workshops with them, so which is really fun. I'm going to show you. One is this. It's a takotsubo. It's a octopus trap that we painted. So I'm not a good painter. Paint is not a medium I'm very comfortable with, but I did this thing. Yeah, it is what it is. The second one is a flag. So they make their latest artwork was the giant octopus trap, which is a playground for kids at the same time. And they also made flags. One Team Ogi member is Okawahara Sensei, and he is a flag maker. He's one of the last flag makers of Shikoku who make flags in a traditional way, and he's great. So to make sure his industry is not dying, he really put it into the contemporary world. He also makes bags now and scarves using traditional techniques, and he's really an amazing man. And so he ran a few flag making workshop. I'm going to show you. I'm not super proud of it. Once again, I'm not good at painting. Let me show you. Here. So once again, octopus themed with the same colors as my takotsubo. That was the idea. They kind of go together. So yeah, that's the two workshops I've made with my kids. Originally they were for the kids, but I did it to me. I also took part of them. Instead of just watching my kids do it, it's more fun to do it myself too. Alright, that was Ogi. Yes, Ogi was fun. I mean, I have a lot of links to Ogi. Sometimes I go there just for the day, just to have fun and see friends, and or my kids to play with their friends. I'm not even going to see art some days. Yeah. Next we went to Shodoshima. I've seen most of the art on Shodoshima this year. I've been 4 times, 2 weekends, the whole weekend. You need a car to go to Shodoshima, so we brought the car. That's why we go 2 days in a row, because it is not cheap to bring the car on the ferry, so we're not going to go back and forth many times. I like Shodoshima. It's a wonderful island. It's very different from the other island. It's big. It has 25,000 people. It's like a small city. A few villages plus a small city. And so the art is spread out all over the island. Some is really wonderful, some is not always wonderful. And because it's such a big island, it's also where you have the large, huge construction and installations and artworks. Wang Wenqi from Taiwan every year makes a bamboo house. I made one also this year, and I'll show it to you on my blog sooner or later. And it had a little accident, I think because of the heavy rains, the roof kind of caved in at some point. Luckily I saw it before it got damaged, but they managed to fix it for the last part of the Triennale. And Jiang, sorry Jiang, I never say your name properly, and I'm very sorry if you watched this video. Jiang, yeah, I met him 3 years ago, and we stayed in touch. And so he made a follow-up of his artwork from 3 years ago, which were like big wooden structure. He builds boats, real boats or imaginary boats, from old Chinese furniture. It should give them a second life instead of discarding them, throwing them away. And this time he made a real big boat. So it's a barge, a real barge. He didn't make the barge. And on the barge he made a huge, giant structure. Check on my videos. I have a video on it on the day of the inauguration, and there is more on my blog. And there was a few more things. Yes, that was Shodo. Shodo was fun. Shodo didn't feel very different from the other years. Because it's such a big island, it actually gets fewer visitors, I think, because you need a car. So yeah, Japanese visitors, the number is always high because it is a touristy island year-round, Triennale or not. So yeah, even on years when foreign tourists come, very few make it to Shodoshima. And so, yeah, it really didn't feel, I think that's the only island which didn't feel different from the other years. A lot of art, not so many people, a lot of space. It was kind of fun. But the only thing that felt different is the village of Konoura, which is a very tiny, wonderful village that has art every 3 years. And they usually have something I really love, which is a umi no ie. It's like a house, not a house, sorry, a place to welcome visitors, and they just give them foods and drink, and you can talk with the locals. And I love going there every 3 years. Unfortunately, this year it was closed because of the pandemic. So that's my big regret on Shodoshima this year. With no hanging out in Konoura, just coming, seeing the art and leaving. I love Konoura, it's a wonderful place. That was Shodoshima. Next we have Oshima. I didn't go to Oshima, which is a shame. I didn't go to Oshima for 2 reasons. Number one, it was closed a good chunk of the Triennale, especially in the summer. I think many days was not open to the public. So as you know, Oshima is an island, but also a hospital for people with Hansen disease. And so they're very strict about who can go to the island or not. In the past, the island was not even open to the general public. It is now, but yet access was very strictly regulated during the Triennale. And I was gonna go last week and 2 weeks ago, and okay, shame on me. I'm the Setouchi Triennale connoisseur. I totally forgot you need to make a reservation on the boat to go because they are limiting the number of people. And I totally forgot. I just showed up 30 minutes before boarding and I couldn't get on, and that was my last opportunity to go. So shame on me for that. Not a lot of new art, so yes, there was not a lot of new art. I didn't miss a lot. And Inujima, I didn't go to Inujima either. It's far, it's expensive. I'm not a big fan of the art there, except the Seilensho Museum by Hiroshi Sambuichi, which is wonderful. The rest I'm not super crazy about. So I don't make the extra effort to go to Inujima when I don't. If I have guests, visitors, I will go with them, but by myself, usually I don't. So yeah, that's the main islands. They are open every 3 seasons. So yeah, I started talking about seasons and then I stopped. So yeah, the spring was very quiet. I didn't go to many places, only Naoshima, Ogijima, Megijima and Shamijima. I'm going to talk about it in 2 seconds. And so Shamijima is only in the spring session. It only had 2 new artworks. Even 2 artworks, or a few more because some permanent ones, old permanent ones, but they were wonderful, especially Leonid Tishkov installation, which was not one installation, it was 7, 8, I forgot, and it was on Shamijima itself, but also on Yoshima, the island a little further away, that's attached to the Great Bridge of Seto, and that's artwork was just so moving, so beautiful. I already talked about it, I will talk about it again. I went to see it 3 times and I have so many pictures and videos. I barely showed any yet. Yeah, my goal, because I haven't blogged much during the Triennale and because none of you could come, I will blog about it for the next 3 years, I guess. This way I can go on a slow pace, which I need to go now, and you have things to enjoy for a while, until the next Triennale, where I hope you can come. So Shamijima was wonderful, and the other artwork, I always forget the name of the artist, it's the Japanese artist, and it's a local from Sakaide. Sakaide is the city that Shamijima is a part of. and he always has a really beautiful art. 3 years ago too, this year too. You'll check it out. So yes, that was a spring session. Then summer. Summer is hot in Kagawa. This summer was much, much hotter than usual. And coronavirus numbers, the Omicron variant wave really, really hit us. We got lucky until now at Kagawa because people are more careful than in some other places. I'm looking at you, Europe and America. We got lucky and have few numbers of cases all since the beginning. A year ago, back in October, November 2021, we had 0 cases in Kagawa for 2 months. Feels so far away now. But last summer, yeah, the Omicron wave really hit us badly for many reasons. People were like, hey, it's summer, let's have fun. The government said, you don't need your mask anymore outside if you're not close to people, if you don't speak to people. A lot of people forgot the last part of the recommendation. Anyways, Corona got very, very bad in August, at the same time as temperatures getting very, very high. So we barely went anywhere. I went to Shodoshima one weekend, as I told you, and I went to Ogijima a couple of times, and that is all. It was just too hot. It was really unpleasant. So yeah, we spent the whole summer at home almost, yeah. So that's how summer was for the Triennale, almost non-existent. Also, yeah, one big difference this year is usually during the Triennale we have also a lot of events, performing arts mostly and things like that. And there were none this year, almost none, like just a few here or there, and I barely saw any. I just saw the Seppuku Pistols in the spring, whom I love, whom you probably know about if you follow me. And even them, they came only once or twice in the spring, when they usually come a dozen times total, like for every session. So I don't know why they came only once or twice. I don't know if it's linked to the pandemic, probably not, but I'm a bit sad about that. Anyways, so summer was almost non-existent. And then fall session, the autumn session, which just ended. There, yeah, I tried to go to as many places as I could, but as I told you, I couldn't go to Teshima, Oshima, and Inujima. And that was okay, same thing, like just different vibe. Fewer people was good. The vibe was different, the atmosphere was different for everybody. People were not as excited as usual, I think, and that's a shame. I mean, Koibi was understaffed. A lot of new members of the volunteer group. Koibis are the volunteers who really help make the Triennale happen. They run the Triennale on site while things are happening in offices. And a lot of new Koibi members, so I didn't know them also. So some veterans were there, and I've known for many years. A few new ones whom I didn't know. So strange atmosphere, strange vibe, like also not the very friendly, happy vibe that's usually there. Well, and we saw the art, and so yeah, let's continue my passport list with the 4 islands that are only in the fall. So we have Honjima. I saw almost all the art on Honjima. I didn't see 18. What was 18? I forgot. Maybe I saw it and didn't stamp it. When it's an outside permanent work, I don't always stamp them. I like Honjima. Honjima is a very nice island. I wish I went more often and I knew it better. Not a lot of new art, but it was interesting, and some of the old art was still there, and it's a nice place. The vibe was also pretty similar as usual. The problem with the Western Islands, the one are open only in the fall and they're far from Takamatsu, is we go there for the art, and I feel like a tourist there. We go see the art, and we go home. especially there are not many boats, so you really have to time your thing. And yes, it's nice to go to the Western Islands because I don't go there very often. But at the same time, it's a bit frustrating. I should go there when it's not the Triennale. I always tell myself I will go there when it's not the Triennale, and I almost never go. Maybe this time, I don't know, we'll see. So Takamijima, as you know, or as you may know, is a very strange island. It's almost empty nowadays. It's an island that is not dying, but pretty much almost dead, but has a lot of art. The new art was quite disappointing this year on it. 3 years ago I was amazed. It had some of the best art, I think. This year, some permanent art is wonderful, but the new one was unfortunately disappointing. Yeah, I'm not gonna say I wasted my time there, but almost. Awashima, I love the island. It's a very nice, pleasant island. The new art was shit. Sorry, excuse me, pardon my French. I'm very sorry, but the new art was really bad. But once again, the old art that's there permanently is really pleasant, so it's a trade-off. And Ibukijima, which I hadn't been to 3 years ago, I didn't have time. I went this year. The art was hit or miss. Yes, sometimes very interesting, sometimes not. I could finally see Tree of Ibuki, which was like the new superstar of the Triennale 3 years ago. It's wonderful, amazing structure. You will see it soon. And yeah, Ibuki is a strange place also. Yeah, that kind of island, not many boats, so you really have to go see the art and leave. You can't really hang out so much on the island, which is a shame. Yes, and I almost forgot the 2 ports, but yeah, I didn't go to Uno Port. It had new art this year. I should have gone 3 years ago. It was a waste of time. I should have gone this year, one of the places I meant to go to and I didn't. Takamatsu had some new artworks, mostly on Yashima. Not a lot. Takamatsu usually have quite a few art in town, and almost none this year. Triennale, pandemic, yeah, probably, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know if that video was very interesting. It's mostly me rambling about what happened, what I did and what I didn't do. If you're still watching, I'm sure 1 or 2 of you are probably still watching, thank you. That's gonna be it. So what's next? I think for the next 2.5 years I'm gonna try to maintain my blog. It's not that I lost the motivation to do my blog. I still love my blog, but it's a lot of time maintaining it, you know, it's a lot of work, and I feel like I'm not spending time doing other things I would like to do sometimes. So I'm not giving up, don't worry. But maybe I will post differently, and I'm making more videos instead, and I'll try to have the blog work with that YouTube channel more. And yes, so that's all. Stay tuned. I'm put the useful links in the description about the blog and my newsletter, my other YouTube channels. Yeah, that's also, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, like, do the things people do when they watch YouTube. Subscribe to my blog and to my newsletter if you want to know what's going on with me. And to social media, you know, the Bluebird is having big troubles right now, so I don't know how long I'm gonna be on it. But I'm still on Facebook, I'm still using Facebook, I'm trying Mastodon now. I like it, I really like it, but it's still not very widespread and not very famous. We see what happens, but I'm still here, online, on YouTube, on Facebook, on my blog, on Substack, maybe on Twitter. We see. And I'm gonna stop rambling on because I think I've just spoken too much right now. If you're still watching, thank you so much for watching until now. I don't know if anybody watched everything. Just comment on it if you did, so I know. Okay, bye bye, you take care.